Alright, now this is where the game tries to toy around with you. With undead monsters. Now you see that guy just hanging around right there. If you notice when I step on these logs, it kind of sinks, but I still, you know, I don't take any damage from the floor. What I want to do here is I make him solid, and he's staying on my area, and I'm taking damage. That is just really mean, game. What have I ever done to you? As soon as I make him solid, he just has weight, although he's just floating, which I never got. Okay, now there's a shed right there. I've actually noticed this thing quite for lots of times. And this actually must show that there must have been less water here when the Selkies tried to move in here. But that is just by looking at it. As they actually tried to modify it with a small little pier so the Selkies can go across of it. And I just want to stay away from him. And you got the chest over here, which is pretty well hidden. For some mithril gloves. Great. Okay, now there are ways to try to fake him out. Possibly the best method is to lure the behemoth into a tree. Because he will be so small he won't be able to attack you as you try to take out that little thing that's next to him. Alright, let's go at it. And see what I'm doing. You really pretty much can't do anything if you're hiding around this tree. Well, if that tree wasn't there, then it makes you wonder what would happen here. You know what, screw it, I'm gonna stick with the old-fashioned holy, and I'm gonna start sniping them. And that wasn't very smart. Although you may call me cheap, it's still a very smart way to fight these guys. But I'm also really hoping that these guys will drop something really useful, and that's called orichalcum. Orichalcum is something that's very rare to find, and sometimes you have to fight bosses in order to get that one. But here, over at Conall Curach, you can get orichalcum pretty common, only in later cycles. Orichalcum helps you make legendary weapons, and it also helps you make diamond armor. So it's a really useful thing to have. Now I'm really hoping that my attack won't leave me exposed for too long, as I'm trying to lure him to the tree. And he loses interest in me, and he's gone. Alright. Now these things just do a crap ton of damage, and they aren't exactly easy to handle with. And he gave me 50 gil. And by the way, it is possible to get orichalcum in the first cycle, just saying, but the chances of you getting it is very unlikely. Okay, I just want to spook around here just to make sure there aren't any behemoths hanging around. And this guy just happens to walk up. Now I'm hoping this, if I do attack this guy, I won't attract a behemoth. I'm really hoping. Because they'll be the end of me if they actually finds out. I'm actually fighting one of these guys. Now that's the thing I also like about the behemoth, because they aren't curious. They don't walk around. So if they aren't walking around, that means you won't run into an unexpected battle with a behemoth. And he still damages. He always gets me with that first move. That fire attack, though, I'm okay with. should be a chest around here. Most of the times there are chests around behemoths. But I guess not this time. There's one right there. And that one's near a behemoth. And also a dark flan. Just pull out my holy and... Oh great, there's two of them. Now, when you're pinned into a situation like this, it's most possibly the smartest thing to do here is try to attract both flans to you and do the same thing with the tree. And just pretty much rinse, lather, repeat, and such. That's about the smartest strategy you can possibly think of when dealing with these guys, because you really don't want to fight multiple enemies when there's a behemoth around. You really don't. Their attacks are so diverse they can cause you so much trouble here. Now I am really glad I also switched up my butterfly head for this, because this is ranged and I'm just trying to snipe them. And a mithril belt. You know what I found really funny as well? Is that there's no mithril here either. What the hell? Now there's a ghost hanging around here, but most likely there's going to be some stone sergeants hanging around them too. Look at that. And I wasn't even predicting anything. I just knew. I also forgot to mention, these stone sergeants also learn a new attack in Cycle 2, and it's really, really awful, as it will do a lot of damage, and it's also considered a level 2 spell. So you need to have up to at least 2 levels of ice protection. And that is really bad, because it can freeze you even if you have an ice badge on, so you have to kind of buffer yourself up even more. More magic plants. Now these things, these sinking platforms do become an issue in multiplayer, as if you have actually, I think up to 3 players or more, these things will sink so far that your characters will get damaged. So I just wanted to point that out there, because I've actually played this area on multiplayer and it's a bitch. Now this should be the last guy before this route. This is the boss chamber. But before that, I want to see if I can try to explore something. Oh, look, a chest. A phoenix down. That's really encouraging, game. Okay, what have I gotten myself into? Alright, well, I guess it's time to face one of the hardest bosses in the game. I have space, thank God. So, let's watch the intro sequence, but let me heal myself up a bit. And I think I would want to keep a cure with me, just in case something really dumb happens. Because I hate fighting this boss. So, we're gonna watch the intro. See you there.